Every year, you have a choice. One that says staying independent and family-owned means something on your farm. So plant your independence. Plant Wyffels.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of InCYde Zone. I'm Jacqueline Cordova, and this week I'm joined by Jake Remsburg and Jirehl Brock. Colin Newell decided to go to the 49ers game in Green Bay, so he's currently, I don't even know what the game's at right now.
Nope, we lost 38.
Yeah, bad game.
What a terrible game. I'm not gonna lie. As a Niners fan, I'm very disappointed. I'm 50-50 on the weekend. Iowa State won. Niners lost, but at least the Clones won.
Hey,
so.
I'm 2 for 1. I had Iowa State win, a Titans win today, which I'm mad that we even won because.
So you're 2 for 2, buddy.
No, 2 for 1, and the Valley Tigers lost on Friday. So.
You're 2 and 1. Dang.
2 and 1. Yeah.
Well.
So, which was a great game, by the way. Like, great atmosphere. We just didn't get it done.
Yeah, I know you were really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, it was. But you know, the Cyclones got done. It's now 14. I think it's 14 years now. The Valley hasn't won a state championship, and
oh, geez.
Yeah, but
well, like I said, Newell isn't here because he's at football, and unfortunately, Brock didn't play today.
Yeah, how about that? That's a bad ordeal if you're planning a trip to Green Bay and you don't even get to see Brock play.
Right.
Sorry, Newell.
And he doesn't get to podcast with us.
I know that's the worst part.
And we're also flying solo.
Me and Jirehl, the duo, like
the duo. We're roommates since freshman year.
Yeah. We're gonna have an episode here.
Did you guys get to pick each other as roommates?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Okay. Essentially.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. It was intentional.
It was intentional. You had a nice little jacket on there, Jirehl. I like that.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
It's a full suit. I got the sweatpants on too. Nike Tech.
Okay.
Showing off. Well, Iowa State had quite the game Saturday night in Salt Lake City. I did not get to see it in real time, so you guys will have to give the insight into the experience of watching Iowa State beat Utah 31-28. They are now number 17 in the AP poll, and they officially control their destiny. So, like I said, it was, as to quote Rob Gray from his post-game story, he said they bumbled, fumbled, and stumbled their way with alarming regularity.
No, seriously, that's kind of how the game went yesterday. And, we're fortunate to, road wins are hard to come by. And they're even more hard when you muff a punt and you throw a pick six and really everything. Punt blocked.
Touchdown.
Yeah. Seriously, like everything that could have gone wrong yesterday went wrong, and we won the football game. And that's like hats off to, the players. I'm so happy for those guys, man. 2 weeks ago after the Kansas game, it didn't look great, but those dudes have just kept on fighting. The Cards have, fell their way, and we're sitting here with a win and we go to Dallas. So you can't complain about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago we were sitting here talking about it's out of our hands, and gotta kind of have to wish for other teams to do what needs to be done for us to get to Jerry's world, and now it's back in our hands. We did everything we needed to do, and all the other teams did what we needed them to do too. And like you said, we're sitting here 1 win away from the Big 12 championship, which also gives you a automatic bid into the college football playoffs. So that's, more than this school's ever gotten to play for. So and the first 10-win season possibly on a senior night for the seniors and for the whole program. It's going to be a huge one this week.
Yeah. And you think about, the college football landscape right now. And I know, Iowa State fans are so focused on Iowa State, but if you take a step back and look at what's happening around the country, it's bananas.
It's ridiculous, bro.
Ole Miss losing to Florida, Alabama losing at Oklahoma. We know it's a hard place to play at night. But, for this team to stay, consistent, and the consistent might not be pretty. We've seen it time and time again this year. Our consistent wins are always not great. I think about, the West Virginia game as being really our only solid win, I would say, that's clean football. So to be able to do that, and any team can win in college football nowadays, especially with NIL and all that stuff. So, hats off to the team for being consistent in what it is. If it's not pretty, but it's pretty cool.
How big
Yeah,
is
we
it?
talk about. Well,
go ahead, Jirehl.
Well, we talk about all the time how it's really hard to win in college football. It's really hard to win like any game, let alone conference on the road night games. And when you could just walk and when you can go in there and get one, no matter how it is, I mean that's just building confidence for the rest of the year. For if postseason, we get into those games where it's really all you have to do is win. Like it doesn't matter how you get it done. If you find a way to win, you get that type of mentality as a team that, no matter how it gets done, just find a way to win, and you can carry that into the next game and then the next game. I mean, you can't ask for anything more than that.
No, absolutely.
Especially, I mean, it doesn't always look pretty, but you could take a win when you need it.
Yeah, exactly. Win's a win. I think, most of the Cyclone Nation yesterday after those first two BYU and Arizona State games, we knew it was going to be a big game. It was funny to me listening to all the players and stuff in the post game. I think Darren Porter said he knew that those two teams lost, but like Rocco said he didn't know. Oh, they all knew. They were on the.
Yeah, they all knew. They all knew. A night game. I know what they were doing in the hotel all day. Just
all day.
I'm just sitting there watching college football all day. I didn't
all
know.
Day.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, they did. They knew, and I wouldn't even be surprised if Campbell knew too. I know he said he didn't know either, but I mean, how can you not? No, Skip was all over it. Yeah, absolutely. But I can already envision the bus ride, just all those guys with their phones on, with the games on and stuff. So, I mean, once you have something like that go your way and you're in the locker room, you're like, oh my gosh, like this is a huge game. Like that can be a huge, momentum boost before the game even starts. So.
When it comes to things like that, like watching, Arizona State win the game and Kansas win the game. I know when I saw that, I was like, holy crap. Like this makes me nervous going into the Iowa State game just because Iowa State likes to give us high blood pressure and make us really stressed.
Yeah, it was too perfect.
Exactly. That's exactly how it felt. How did you guys feel going into the Iowa State game? Like, were you nervous? Were you anxious? Were you kind of like, oh no, they'll be fine? Like, what was going through your guys' heads?
So, throughout the day, I was pretty chill. Wasn't too concerned about the game. Honestly, I wasn't thinking much of it. I had a nice Saturday, did whatever. But then when those two games ended, the Kansas game and the Arizona State game ended, I was like, oh my gosh, let's go. Like I was fired up. Like it was showtime. Like we this went away from having one more game in Jack Trice Stadium to go back to Dallas. So, I mean, I was fired up.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I had all the faith in the world. I feel like, the chips were just falling into place for us to put that last piece to the puzzle and get back the control of our destiny. All we have to do is win next week. It's just another game that gets you into another week to play for a trophy. Something that this school really hasn't seen before.
Yeah, I mean the end of the game too. I mean throughout the game, a lot of nerves, I would say, but to end it like that, man, that was electric. Like I got this video of my dad. If you can pull it up here.
Yeah,
as a fan, you're sitting there like
the emotions are high.
We're trying to give this away right now. Right. I was like, we're trying to lose.
Oh.
I mean, here it is.
Got it. And this is your dad?
That's my dad.
Because we've been on the other side where that field goals went in, bro. Like Texas Tech.
I know, right?
Went in.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
No, we've been on both sides. I think about Texas in 2020 when Dicker the kicker missed that one, and that was to go to the Big 12 championship essentially. So, but then the Texas Tech game in 2021. I mean, that was oh my gosh, I will never forget that game in my life. I don't think I've ever gotten.
How long was that field goal? Was that a
61 yarder?
62. Yeah, 61, 62, something like that. Ridiculous.
So. to be on the other side of that, it's a lot of fun. As you can see with my father last night.
Yeah,
So.
he was losing his mind.
Yeah.
Brag.
He told me the other day he was no longer going to get emotionally attached to football games. And he was all, we went to the Valley game together, and he was all upset after that game. He's like, I'm done. I'm not being emotionally attached to any more football games. And I see that video from last night.
It's impossible.
I feel like that's a lot of the
impossible.
Iowa State fan base, right? Like,
Right.
I feel like a lot of people go through the emotions of, I don't even care anymore. It doesn't even matter.
Right.
And then it's like, nope, just kidding.
Just kidding. Hey, and by the way, shout out to all my jump in the water supporters out there. I mean, there's another.
Oh,
I got tagged in one yesterday. Yeah, we can play some. I've started a movement.
Yeah.
I love that.
You're famous.
Shout out to those guys. That was pretty cool. So, I mean, when the whole, fan section can, rally around a team like that and have a big win, it's so much fun.
Well, when you guys look at this game, I mean, there are a lot of bad things, of course. Like you said, the pick six, the blocked punt, touchdown, it's a lot, right? What were the key positive things that you guys took out of this game? What'd you walk out feeling good about?
Our defense only gave up one touchdown themselves. Like, I was looking at like the whole game. I really felt like we were up by more than what the scoreboard said, because the plays that they did score on were just like one play, not even their offense on the field type of plays. Like, you know what I mean? Like the pick six, it was one of the only inaccurate balls that Rocco really threw, and it just happened to bounce into the other team's hand. It's like that happens every now and then. Obviously you don't want it to, but I mean, and then special teams having a block punt, that's just a scheme thing. Special teams coaches, they look at all your punt film and they find the best way to attack you, and sometimes they get you, and that's exactly what happened. But other than that, like, our defense played really well. I thought our offense was moving the ball really well. Obviously, in the first quarter, it was a little bit slower to start. I see a lot of people talking on like social media about how we always throw the ball before the sticks on third down. It does make me mad too, but I understand it. From a quarterback's perspective, might as well give somebody a chance to get the ball and get yards after catch, other than trying to force it into hold of somebody past the sticks and get it picked, or also just take a sack or throw the ball away, or just getting yards somehow and giving somebody the opportunity, because one missed tackle, they could have a first down. But I mean, really, other than that, like, I really liked the way we played. There was just, like I said, those big plays that kind of makes the game look a lot closer than what it really was.
100%. I agree with you, man. And there's a reason I'm wearing, this hat today.
Oh yeah, O-line played great. I thought they played great.
I mean, I might be biased a little bit here because I was an O-lineman. I just love that room. I know all those dudes, but I mean, I don't think they've gotten enough credit this year. We can talk all day about Jaden Higgins and Jalen and Rocco, which, don't get me wrong, like, those, we have some dudes on our team. Like, I could go up and down. Carson Hansen's a dude. Dom Orange is, a freak. I mean, a freak. But that O-line, I mean, the amount of growth, I know a couple of weeks ago we were like, they kind of, stagnant a little bit. I mean, there's a couple of blocks out there that I watched, and, I always look at, like, when we get in space, right? We're pulling, we're doing a bunch of those things. And
I love seeing him pull.
Oh my gosh, you're really good at it.
Especially
really
Huff from center, like seeing him pull. Tyler.
Miller had a couple good pulls.
Yeah, they had really good pulls together.
So let me just tell you guys about the O-line. When you're pulling, you're in space, one, which is not favorable for a 330-pound human being. And then to add on to that, you're trying to block a cornerback or a linebacker who's way more athletic than you by far. And you just got to get your hands on them. And, in years past, that's been, I would say, a critique of our offensive line is we have not blocked really well in space. I think at least for like our time there, Jirehl, I think probably historically at Iowa State, they're not great at, blocking in space. But this year, I mean, those guys are getting out there, they're moving, and they're getting their hands on some guys, and it can really open up some things. So, I mean, hats off to the O-line. I thought that was my big, takeaway from a game like that. And I think Campbell hit on it in the post-game presser. Like, Utah has a good defense, and really good defense.
All year have been.
All year have been one of the best in the Big 12, even though, the record doesn't really necessarily show that, because I don't think their offense is very good. But huge game for them to go up against, a talented defense and be able to play like that. But then on the defensive side, I thought our linebacker core played really well. They looked experienced out there. Jack Sadowski, probably his best game of the year. So, I mean, when you get a bunch of guys like that who are, you could tell they were in sync throughout the game.
I think this is one of the best games that our defensive line has played all year as well.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, Dom's just huge inside.
It's like every play, dude.
Hey, yo, pause. Yeah, I think
I knew something would come out like this in this podcast, man. I know me, me and Jirehl, man. I mean, I knew something like this would.
No, bro. I mean, he plugs two gaps. Makes it a lot easier for our linebackers and safeties to fit. He causes, controlled commotion in the backfield, and it makes it tough for other teams' offenses to get a run game going with that guy doing what he's doing, and then T.O. and Joey Peterson doing what they do on the outsides. I thought that was one of the best games that our D-line has had this year. I mean, this year.
I think it's interesting. We don't really have like a true defensive end out there. Like those are, three guys, Joey, Dom, T.O., who all are technically like interior guys. Like if we were playing
Ike is probably the only
Ike's the only one, yeah.
Really.
Yeah, and
Snyder.
Yep. Which is interesting because like it creates a problem for other teams' offensive lines. It's like you have three really strong guys that you have to go against in the run game, and for them to at least hold, like you hit on it, Jirehl, like Dom being able to take two guys and not let the guards go up to the linebackers and double teams and stuff like that. Like that's huge. Like, and I even think Joey works his ass off out there, and he's just a workhorse. And I thought we did a good job. Maybe at least a little more pressure on the quarterback than in weeks past. So I don't know if the Utah's O-line was that good or not, but no, they were really solid. Another point I want to hit on is Joey's little. I know I saw some comments on Twitter like Joey's gator roll, the tackle. I mean, the dude's just playing hard. I mean, the gator roll tackle is a teached concept on defense. Like they will practice a gator roll tackle because it's an effective way to tackle someone. But he was getting some crap for that on Twitter, and I was like, I think it's pretty clean. We could look at the Kansas guy on Shadur in that game. That's not very clean. So
that was crazy. I ain't gonna lie, that was crazy. If anybody did that to my quarterback, bro, I'm crazy.
It's hands, dude.
Bro,
it's hands.
Like you remember when Brock got hit by what's his name on Oklahoma?
Gosh, Oklahoma. Perion Winfrey.
Perion Winfrey. Yeah, bro.
He killed Brock.
But like even that hit, I don't think it was like compared to this one, because this one could have like if his foot was still on the ground.
Oh yeah,
saw his leg in half.
And I'm pretty like forgiving. Like people are playing football; it's a physical game. It's easy to look at a replay of a hit and be like, "Oh, that was dirty." You're out there trying to make a hit, but I mean that hit was dirty. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I hope he was like falling, like serious. But
do you guys just get into like protective mode if the quarterback does get hit? Does it feel like one of those like wait, like
yes.
Does it get
you? Yeah, bro. Because like I don't know. I think it's just obviously there's a competitiveness there. In my case, what I feel is like there should be a respect enough to know that like each team's quarterback is like kind of how you go.
Mhm.
Like the quarterback, even in like, I don't know, it's one of those positions like nobody really wants their quarterback to get hurt. So like people are gonna see Shador and be like, oh, let's take a shot at him or something like that. But
Right.
I feel like quarterback really should be a protected position the way it is. Sometimes it's a little too soft, but it's hard to change quarterbacks throughout a season and be successful. So just for the game of football, obviously I would like for everybody to stay out there, but especially the quarterback.
I mean, while we're on the topic of quarterbacks, our quarterback, Mr. Number 3, is, I mean, he's playing spectacular football right now. I think he's incredible. You know, the way he can, you know, move a pocket when he's, you know, scramble drills and find his receivers, hit them on point. I mean, yeah, we talked about it earlier, Jirehl. I think the pick six was only one of his only off cues of the game. Which was just a fluke deal. It was just a ball that was low behind Jalen. But yeah, I mean, he's playing exceptional. And that's how you win football games. So you have a quarterback like that who is pretty you know, he doesn't make a ton of mistakes. So, you know, I think a lot of teams in the country would be very happy with Rocco Becht as their quarterback right now.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the growth that I've seen from Rocco. Yeah, I've even noticed that he's gained like a kind of a Russell Wilson like moon ball too. Like he throws in enough to where his receiver, and it's perfect for Jaden because Jaden's a freak athlete. Like he could just as long as he just can see the ball, he can go get it, and it's perfect for a big receiver like Jaden who can just go get the ball. A moon ball where you could just throw it up there and it gives the receiver enough time to adjust to it and just go get it, especially when the corner, I mean, team's going to be playing man one-on-one against Jaden Higgins. That's probably not your best choice. So I mean, Rocco and Jaden, that connection was huge yesterday, and I'm excited to kind of just see that in the next few games.
I think Iowa State should be considered slant route university.
Well, we've always ran the RPO slants.
I mean, we're so good at it, dude. Like it's ridiculous. Like the way we clear the middle of the field. I mean,
think about how many people have scored like touchdowns off of RPO slants at Iowa State. Like X scored a bunch. Deshaunte Jones scored a bunch. Jalen scored a bunch. Jaden scored a bunch.
Like what are we doing over there that makes us so good at the slant route? I guess I don't watch practice at all, but I mean,
bro, it's what you're doing, bro. It's the run. That's what the run's for.
That's true.
Brings that
RPO.
brings that linebacker down, and he just throws it right under the safety.
Yep. Because you have to clear the middle of the field. Like you have to bring those. You got to get those linebackers out of position for those to work.
Yeah, but it's scary though when they get hands up because the ball gets tipped and it's like the ball, like, that's when it gets scary. But that's what the practice is for.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty cool though.
Well, Rocco and Jaden Higgins have an extensive list of things they accomplished yesterday, which is something I always find so funny when we walk out of these games where sometimes it feels like people have a lot to complain about and they'll spend a lot of time complaining about it. But then I feel like when you step back, it's like, oh, look at all of these things that were accomplished by some of these players. So like Rocco, he's now extended his school record streak of throwing a touchdown pass to 15 straight games. He's moved into third in school history for wins by a quarterback with his 16th win. He's now second in school history for conference wins by a quarterback with 12. He's the seventh player in program history to account for 50 touchdowns in a career. He surpassed 6,000 yards passing in his career while moving into fourth in program history with 6,069 passing yards.
Wow.
And that's not even the whole list. And I mean, Jaden had his moment yesterday. He's went over 1,000 yards on the season, just the seventh time that has happened in program history. So huge shout out to Jaden Higgins. Yeah.
He did hit big one.
And he still has next week and he technically has 2 more games left, potentially 3.
Or
So,
4.
I was gonna say, or maybe 4.
Shoot, could be 5.
Could be 5.
Could be 6. It really could be 6. Could be 6. We could be actually, it could be 7. We could women. No, not 7.
No.
Not 7. It could be
I think
6.
I think it's
No, 5.
Kansas
It could be 5
State,
because we would get the 1 seed.
Big 12. Then I guess if we go quarterfinals, semifinals, national championship, 5. But I mean, yeah, that's an extensive list. And the thing about Rocco is he's still pretty young, right? Like I think he's only a redshirt sophomore.
Redshirt sophomore. Yeah, redshirt sophomore.
Woo! He's
Like, I
coming
think
after BP's
Like
records.
it's huge. Yeah, like that's something. Maybe it's because I tend to be more of a positive person, but to have someone like Rocco step in after Brock Purdy's legacy is huge.
Absolutely it is. I mean, and it's even better when he's such a great guy too. I saw he did the turkey, drive on Thursday. That's pretty cool. So that's what makes it fun, is cheering on a guy that is a good dude too. So and he's really good at golf too.
Is he? Did you get to play with him?
Yeah, I played with him a couple times. He's a solid golfer.
Nice.
And, the big talk of the locker room the past 2 years is NIL deals, and everyone wants NIL deals with golf companies. So if you're if you're a golf company and looking or listening to this podcast, hit the Iowa State boys up, because it's a major hobby on our team.
Interesting.
I remember some of the best. Oh, I remember, we had a workout or something on a Friday, and I kid you not, there was probably 24 guys on the football team who went straight to the workout, and we had like 6 straight tee times at Vinker on a Friday. It was awesome. Jirehl even got to golf in a little bit.
Jirehl, big golfer.
Jake, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a lot better now than last time you saw me, bro.
Really?
I'm a lot better now than the last time you saw me.
I might be a lot worse.
You'd probably be surprised if you saw me golf now.
I got the yips right now, dude, in my golf game. So I think I only golfed like twice this year. So it's a hobby that's diminishing from my my lifestyle.
You got to pick it back up, brother.
I think I should just get some lessons from Rocco. I think that'd be good.
Yeah, sounds like it. I'm going to use this opportunity to thank our presenting sponsor, Wyffels Hybrids. As always, like I say, Cyclones supporting Cyclones, and they are huge supporters of Cyclone Fanatic, especially us here at InCYde Zone. Like I said, today's program is brought to you by Wyffels Hybrids, where commitment to excellence and tailored corn hybrids come together. They understand what Midwestern farmers need to succeed with products bred specifically for our region's fields and conditions. They focus on quality and have a deep dedication to supporting farmers at every stage. So to learn more, visit Wyffels.com. It's WYFFELS.com. And then, of course, as always, Iowa State University, Ivy College of Business. If you're looking at a future in business, Iowa State's the place to go. They have a top-notch array of programs and a great world-class faculty. And not to mention, that building that the College of Business is located in is nice. It is very nice.
It is nice.
So
it's my buddy's grandparents.
Nice. Get your degree. Get your degree at the Ivy College of Business.
I think Wyffels should host a wiffle ball tournament.
A wiffle ball tournament.
I think InCYde Zone should have a team in it too. Every time I hear Wyffels, I think of wiffle ball. Yeah,
that's fair.
So if you're at Wyffels and listening to this, let's set up a wiffle ball tournament next year.
Put it on the list.
Team InCYde Zone will take the ship.
When you guys look at this game and you kind of zoom out, look at the stats, right? Iowa State outgained Utah 405 yards to 224. The Cyclones totaled 24 first downs to Utah's 9. They converted 8 of their 16 third down chances against the Utah defense, which you guys talked about being really good. Kind of talk about that. You walk out of a game where it was not pretty, but I mean, at the end of the day, you look at this, it's pretty black and white. Iowa State was still the better team.
Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to. I mean, we talked about earlier how, we didn't play the prettiest game by any means, and still able to go ahead and get it done. I think, relatively speaking, when you think about those stats you just listed, like we dominated the game essentially. And, the scoreboard might have not reflected that. If you watch the game over again, it doesn't necessarily look like that. But on paper, we dominated the game, and you just had a couple things that weren't in our favor. But when you can do that, I saw Chris tweeted like you can't really win road games in this league when you have a muffed punt, block punt, pick six. Like that's hard to do. Like that's you have the it's stacked against you, but to come out and do that on the road it's really cool.
Yeah, and I mean, like we said earlier, I think that was just a big testament to our defense. They really stepped up. Our offense got the job done when it needed to be. Great play call on the halfback toss, tight end leak, like at the end of the game in the last 2 minutes to get the ball down to like the 7-yard line or whatever like that. Great pass from Carson to Burkle. It's plays like that. Like, it was a 3rd and 1. It's a risky thing to do, but our players are better. Our players are better, so we're just going to go do it anyway. So that was kind of what I got from our coaching staff, and that's kind of the whole game. We were the better team. There were just small things that happened that just didn't make it look like it the whole time.
I think Coach Campbell might have been listening to our podcast last week because I'm pretty sure we were talking about
going for it on 4th and 2.
I know.
Went for it on 4th and 2 first drive. I was like, yeah. I think I've called everything going on this year. I think I've called everything that happened this season.
Yeah, I thought our risk taking was awesome. Like we literally talked about it last week. We're like the Lions, best team in the NFL right now, take risks all the time, and it pays off. And it's kind of the thing. Like, what do we have to lose? Like, we got nothing. We kind of have everything to lose, but at the same time, like, screw it. Like our guys are competitors. We're gonna throw in like Carson Hansen pass. I think it's funny. We also talked about last week how some of those trick plays, sometimes they don't look good during practice. And I'm pretty sure Rocco said in the post-game presser, he was like, yeah, it didn't look that good all week. But my favorite part was, on the, if you watch back that play, the whole coaching staff, when Spurkle slips through past the line of defense, the whole coaching staff's like, got him. It's like that one.
I mean, it's perfectly set up. Perfectly set up. You run that same play so many times throughout the whole game. Everybody thinks on 3rd and 1 you're about to just go short. Nope, right over top.
It's like Aiden's my meme guy now. I love memes, so I think we should make a meme of like once Burkle passes that secondary, that one. What's that one clip? Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. And then just I'll have Aiden make that, and we'll post it out.
Yeah, Aiden also decided not to show up for work today. He's flying back from Vegas. He's gotten to spend the whole weekend in Vegas with Chris and the Iowa Everywhere crew. So they also had a weird situation of how they were watching Iowa State play yesterday. So
why didn't the InCYde Zone crew get an invite out to Vegas?
I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna have so rude.
I know.
Yeah,
me and Jirehl love gambling, so.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's past now. We can start making some jokes like this.
Yeah, we can laugh about it.
Oh my gosh.
Well, if you guys can laugh about it, I'll laugh about it.
Oh, I've been laughing about it.
So, Chris, if you're listening to this, you should have brought the professionals out with you. We would have helped you out.
Yeah, man.
Well, looking ahead, Iowa State plays Kansas State Farmageddon. I'm hearing it's going to be like 25 degrees. Will you guys be at the game?
I will be. Yeah.
Oh, I will not.
Come on, Jai. Come on, Jai. You got that Letterman jacket. That Letterman jacket's like a.
Bring it out.
It's that Letterman jacket. It keeps a warm 72 degrees around your body, no matter what temperature it is. So,
dude, I love that I have a Letterman's jacket, but I also love watching the game from the comforts of my bed.
I know, yeah, it's true.
Because that will be amazing. I don't have to worry about the weather inside.
One of my favorite traditions that we did at Iowa State is the seniors wearing the Letterman's jacket on senior night, with the spirit walk and stuff like that. So I hope they continue that. I kind of, pushed that forward a little bit last year. We've done I think some guys just did it out of like, I don't know, habit. And then last year I was like, we should just get all the seniors to wear them, and it's pretty cool. So hope that happens. And then, obviously it's senior night. So I can't believe it's already, the next year's senior night. It feels like just yesterday was my senior night.
I know.
Against Texas. So
I guess I should say, before we jump into that conversation, is there anything else about this game against Utah other than feeling like, all right, they took care of the win. It is, how they won it doesn't matter at this point. Let's just move forward. Was there anything else that you guys needed to?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, my my closing thoughts on that game is obviously we just needed to get a win no matter how it looked, but we can kind of use this as a transition here. Like there were some things yesterday, but we will not beat Kansas State if things like that happen.
That was going to be my next point.
Yeah, Kansas State is a good, solid football team, and I hate them. Absolutely hate them. Like more than any Farmageddon, it should be. I don't think I would. We know we have our Iowa rivalry. Besides that, like Kansas State's right there. At least as a player, like we don't like them at all.
Right.
But yeah, from yesterday, we got to clean up some things going into next week. But overall, at the end of the day, we got the win. That's what mattered. We took risk. I thought that was, the one bullet point I think we look at from yesterday and like, okay, we took some risk and, that pays off.
Jirehl?
Yeah. This is going to be one of those games where we definitely can't do the things we can't do things that hurt us. Like we can't hurt ourselves. We can't beat ourselves in this type of game because Kansas State's going to be a team that's not going to do many things to hurt themselves. We're going to have to go win this game. They're not going to give it to us. So just coming prepared. There's a lot of things, it's once you get into the end of the year like this, there's things that coaches see on tape that they've been looking at all year and they're just waiting to, throw a trick play out there that, they've been working on for the whole year and haven't ran it. Especially when teams, they know that we have a chance to go to the Big 12 championship. They want to ruin that. They're going to come in to Jack Trice with, all intentions of ruining senior night, ruining the Big 12 championship hopes. So know that this isn't going to be a game that they're just going to give to you. You got to go take it. And that's just a mentality that you have to have. And, I'm excited to see our guys play and I'm excited to see them get a win.
Yeah, Kansas State has that, another dynamic running quarterback. If he's healthy, I think he might have been banged up a little bit, but he's dynamic. He can make plays happen. Obviously, Kansas State's going to have a good offensive line and a good defensive. So, we got to play sound football to win this game. And at the end of the day, too, I believe I saw it on the tiebreaker thing today from the Big 12 conference that a 3-loss team in the Big 12 still has a shot. I believe Kansas State falls into that scenario.
Gosh.
Yeah, I think if 3 of the 2-loss teams in the Big 12 lose, so that would be, Arizona State, BYU, Iowa State, or Colorado. If 3 of those teams lose, a 3-loss team in the Big 12 still has a chance. So, they're going in there with every intention of, we still might have a chance as well. So, Farmageddon, you can't wait for that one.
It honestly feels just as much, if not in a way, almost worse than Iowa, just since the Big 12 implications. But yeah, I agree that the Kansas State game always feels just a little different. Like the hatred in the air just feels just a little different, especially with it going to be an extremely cold game. And you got to play in the snow game. I should have queued this up. That picture of you running through the snow. Oh, yeah.
That's my favorite picture. I'll pull it up right here.
Do you just have it on deck?
Yeah, I got it on deck. It's in my football folder on my camera roll. At least I think it is. They did change the iPhone camera thing, which kind of makes me mad. But I hope it snows. I hope it snows a lot. So where is it? Oh, it's on my Instagram, isn't it? But yeah.
Say while you look for that.
Here it is, I believe. Oh yeah.
For people who aren't watching the video stream, Remy is running through the field.
You see
looking
that face?
happy as ever.
That's a
when it
face when
snowed.
you just beat Kansas State.
What was it like playing in that game?
Oh man, I mean, the snow is like you think you're fine. I remember going out for warm-ups and it was like, okay, you're kind of interested to see how the snow feels with the cleats and stuff like that. It feels like you're going through quicksand. And I remember a cool little thing about, Coach Clanton. He obviously coached Spencer Brown, who plays for the Buffalo Bills. I remember that day he called Spencer and was like, hey, we got a snow game. I know you've played in a bunch of snow games with the Bills. Like, what are some tips I can give some of these guys? And what he said is that you have to play like there's no snow on the ground. Like, you can't let your mind, tell you like, oh my gosh, there's snow on my ground, I'm going to slip. You just have to kind of trust your cleats and stuff like that. So it was something that we got, used to. Obviously helped us out a little bit. We'll always remember the Abu game. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I know it was quite the game. And the best part was seeing Will Howard just chuck his helmet after that final, I think he threw a pig or something to lose the game. I mean, I could have that clip on repeat. Like to see another, like a Kansas State quarterback being that mad about a loss to Iowa State, like it's unbelievable. And, it's always a fun game to end the year with. I think back to even when I was a recruit, we had that. What year was that? It was probably 2017 when we had a couple of pass interference calls or something like that shouldn't have been. And I don't know. It's been a back and forth for, the Coach Campbell era. So it's cool. Or I guess Coach Pauly era, according to the broadcast yesterday, because they kept on showing Coach Pauly as Coach Campbell.
Yeah, dude, they were terrible.
Like, how do you get that wrong?
Terrible. Broadcast is terrible. The announcers are just so Utah oriented.
Yeah,
they wanted them to
heavy.
win so bad. Like when Carson threw that pass to Burkle at the end of the game, like it was so anticlimactic. Like how they sounded. They got it down to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, it's like Gus Johnson when he called that Ohio State Purdue game, and it's like, and Gus was like, oh, it's another fumble recovery for Ohio State picked up and ran back for a touchdown. Touchdown.
Oh my
Ohio
gosh,
State.
that was funny. You could tell he was tired of it.
The Gus bus.
Well,
Gosh,
even I know people were talking about this, but when we were listening to the radio broadcast, the fans, people were complaining about the fans, the Utah fans. It sounds like they really showed up. They were loud.
Yeah.
One of my friends was like, it felt really satisfying every time you got to silence them because of how much they were booing throughout the game. Right. So,
yeah.
But I'll tell you what, John Walters was not doing that. He's great. He sounded. There were moments where when he was talking about Utah doing good things where I was like, wait, is something good happening if I zoned out? So,
yeah, I think, that's one part about college football that people don't, take into account a lot is, the media staff that, drives the college football world. Like, hats off to them, like Gus Johnson, Kirk and Chris on Saturday night. And I know, obviously, we love Tim Brando and his crew over at Fox with, I think we're undefeated with them this year. So hopefully we got them next week. I know Tim called the Abu game and, historical, or not historical, but like a line that Iowa State fans will never forget. Abu, how do you do? So hats off to them. I mean, I don't think people talk about that enough, how awesome, some media people make college football. I had a great conversation with Jenny Taff in the elevator at Oklahoma. And so she's my favorite now. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
I think they call her the All-American girl on Fox. I don't know. Regardless. I knew we'd get off track at some point in this podcast.
We went
and down to the field. What's your girl? Jenny Taff.
Jenny Taff, the All-American girl. No, she was really nice. That was fun when we got to like interact with those media people at like the hotels and stuff, because a lot of times they stay in the visited team's hotel, the same hotel as the visiting team. So that was fun to interact.
I've talked to Holly Rowe before.
Oh,
yeah, Holly's awesome.
Holly.
Yeah, Holly's awesome. But Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I did have a question in mind, and then we kind of got off topic and I lost it. So I was going to ask you guys, and this is kind of, you can take it any way you want. When it comes to this Kansas State game, what's it going to take for Iowa State to beat them?
I think it's just got to be clean football at the end of the day. Obviously, Kansas State is a team that, is very similar to Iowa State. We both thrive on playing clean football, not turning the ball over, and not have any unnecessary penalties. So it's really who's going to be able to play a cleaner game. I think it's going to be very important to get the crowd in it early. It's going to be cold, like we talked about. But I mean, yeah, if we can get an early lead and get the crowd behind us, I mean, I think it's going to be hard to beat the Cyclones next week.
I think it's going to be offensively, clean football. No penalties. Penalties is going to be a big one. Turnovers, all that. Penalties is big, especially when you're at home. You don't want those because the crowd just gets very silent when there's yellow flags all over the field, and that's the opposite of what you want when you're at home. Mm-hmm. Defensively, containing the quarterback.
Yep.
A guy that can run. Am I right by saying that he was a running back before he was a quarterback?
I don't know.
I can look.
I feel like if we're just Avery Johnson.
What's his name again? Avery Johnson?
Avery Johnson.
Yeah. I thought he was a running back first, but I could be wrong on that. But a guy that does look to run a lot more than he does look to throw. And that's kind of been our weak link this year.
Right.
Just quarterbacks that can move. Containing the quarterback, and like I understand if we don't get like a pass rush, really, if we're just able to keep him in the pocket and not let him scramble for 30 yards. You know what I mean? Let our DBs stick to their wide receivers and just keep their quarterback in the pocket to make him throw passes that he doesn't want to throw, not let him run. Yeah.
I think, obviously the quarterback play is going to be a huge thing. I can relate it back to the Sally's Polk game in the state championship on Friday I went to. Sally's Polk's quarterback was heavily involved in every play, running the ball, throwing the ball. I mean, he was a difference maker. So, translating to this game next week, what quarterback's going to make the play? What quarterback's going to make the throw? And obviously line of scrimmage as well. It's a game where you have to win the line of scrimmage. We both teams recruit farm boys, Iowa boys, Midwest boys, up and down their rosters. So it's going to be a physical game, which is fun. It's fun playing in a physical game. But you have to win the line of scrimmage. I would love to see us, continue to take risk throughout the game. Maybe switch up a couple different things on offense. At least early on, you see kind of if you get a reaction. I'd love to see us keep pulling on the offensive line. So should be a good one. But I know we control our own destiny. So it's always fun when you have something to play for in game 12.
Which is crazy, just because it really didn't feel like Iowa State controlled their destiny for a second there when.
No, absolutely.
It was like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
We back.
But we back.
I will say that I didn't think we had any chance of making the Big 12 championship after the Kansas loss, just because of the landscape, not, because I didn't believe in the boys, but it just didn't look like we had any more chance, but here we are.
Yeah. I didn't not because I didn't think we were going to win out. I still think we're going to win out. Mm-hmm. I always thought we were going to win out. I just didn't think that the two teams that at the top were going to lose.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that just makes it,
fair.
I don't know. That just makes it look so weird for the college football playoff. Only one team from the Big 12 is getting in for sure it's only going to be champion because it could possibly be a 3-loss team.
Right. There was a quote.
That'd be so crazy. Because they wouldn't, if a 3-loss team were to end up getting that playoff spot, they wouldn't even get the bye. They'd have to play in the first.
You have to play in the first,
the first weekend.
I would love a playoff game in Ames, Iowa, though.
Oh my God, that would be so fire.
Imagine, inviting, I know the playoff landscape is kind of confusing right now. But imagine inviting like a team like Georgia up to Ames,
Georgia,
Iowa. Yeah, to play a game. Like, how cool is that? Like, that's
it'd be Ohio State.
If you could choose one team, Jirehl, where you go back to college and you're like, I wish I would have played, because we played Notre Dame, we played Clemson, played Oregon, we played a lot of what you consider high caliber teams in college football. If you could pick one team,
programs,
if you could pick one team to go back and you're like, I wish we would have played team whatever, who would it be?
Ohio State.
Really?
Yeah, my dad's from Ohio. I grew up an Ohio State fan.
Yeah.
Who would you pick?
I would choose Alabama. Personally, I like Alabama's uniforms, so I think it'd be fun to play against them.
That's cool. That's a good one too.
That's a good question.
That's a good one too.
Yeah.
Well, I found this quote from Campbell from this weekend that I really liked, that I wanted to share on the same vein of just writing their own destiny here at the end. He said, that's the story that this group gets to write. Right now, they've got the pen and they continue to write the story, and I hope they'll continue to write it the way they've got the ability to write it.
Oh, it's nice.
Yeah, it's poetic.
It is poetic. Campbell, he loves his poems.
I know. So you said.
It's what he lives by.
Big poem guy.
Sooner or later, Campbell's going to have his own poem that people are going to quote like that. You got the pen in your hand. What are you going to do with it?
I mean, you should see my group chat. I should have screenshotted it and sent it to you guys. After they won, it started like everyone was like, they say win in the dark. And never doubted them once. And just like all the random like Campbell one-liners we've heard for so long. So
it's funny.
Campbell.
It's like
I love the coach speak.
that old saying of win in the dark. It's like, it's kind of coming into play multiple years later.
It's coming into light.
Like,
man.
Another night game next week. Like, what in the world?
I never doubted it was going to be a night game, to be honest.
Like, seriously, like, it's exhausting.
Also, I just looked at the forecast. And
snow?
There are some snowflakes in the forecast. But It doesn't look like it would be like during the game. It looks like it would be more of like during the day.
I hope it's another blizzard.
It doesn't look like it's going to be a blizzard. We don't want to scare people away either.
Yeah, it's true.
But I will say people should go. I feel like this is cooking up for a recipe of chaos, right? Like in the best way. Right. It's going to be cold. It's Farmageddon. Everything's on the line. It's senior night.
You know what? You're right. I might go to this game.
Yeah,
you should.
Yeah.
Plus, you're not playing. You get to drink before. You can stay warm with some fireball shots.
I have Thanksgiving Saturday night.
Oh, come on,
at what time?
It might be during the day. We'll see. We'll talk about it.
All right. See you at the tailgate lawn.
Gotta hit up one of the guys for a ticket.
I'm sure they'll have tickets available, but yeah, I think that was kind of the big thing on Twitter today, is like people showing up to the game or not. Like,
yeah, sell it out.
I mean, I think it should be an easy sell. You win and you go down to Jerry's World. So
first 10-win season.
I'm not too worried about it. I think
at Iowa State, I think that's definitely a reason to go.
I think they're going to sell it out.
Yeah. And if you're contemplating going or not, I'll bring you a couple hand warmers. Just
I was going to say,
shoot me a DM if you
simply buy hand warmers, foot warmers.
Yeah. I'm bringing my Iowa State park. See,
this is my thing. Always, you can always dress warmer. The hot games, like to me, in my mind, it's way easier to go to a cold game than a hot game. I can't stand hot games. Like, it's miserable. Like, I remember the Arkansas State game. I was pretty much hibernating by the water tanks that they have because I was just so hot. So I'd much rather, dress warm and get a nice cup of hot chocolate and be ready to roll. I know you like hot chocolate, Jirehl.
Oh, I love me some hot chocolate. Oh,
I bet you're missing, having me as a roommate, having the windows open on during the winter. You would get so
No.
mad, bro. You would get so mad.
Because you would just get hot.
No, the house would just be freezing cold. So cold.
But why would you open the windows?
Oh,
He would
because-
open the windows.
Yeah, I'm a naturally warm-blooded human being.
Okay, I only ask, and I'm not judging you because I'm the same exact way. Like there are times where I do have to crack my window during the winter because
Yeah.
I can't turn the heat off. You know,
Right.
you're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to.
But it's so hot. So I mean, I just gotta get some
Right.
fresh, like brisk cold air in here to cool
Right.
me. I'm the same way. I completely relate. Anyways, off topic. Buy your tickets. Go to the game. Fun fact: Aiden's mom had electric hand warmers mailed to me as a gift.
Wow.
I know.
That's nice.
How nice is that? I tweeted the last game about asking if anyone had hand warmers they could donate. Because I just figured someone might see it and then they might see me walking in the stands and just like chuck them at me or something.
Right.
Nope. Aiden's mom had some electric hand warmers mailed to me.
Do you think we're gonna bring out the yellow pants on Saturday?
I hope not.
You don't think so?
I don't like the yellow.
I hope not.
I
Did
do.
you say you do like them?
Yeah, I do like them.
Jirehl, do you like them?
Not a huge fan, but hey, if it looks good, I mess with it.
We'll wear
Gotta be the
all
whole.
black.
It's gotta be the whole. It's gotta be the whole.
Don't trigger people.
Yeah, we'll Campbell loves wearing all black on senior night, so
And in the Farmageddon games.
yeah. I'm gonna be fired up
God.
all week. Short work week.
Mhm.
Farmageddon's are, on the horizon. Another night game. I think I should record that song. Seriously, like I said, saying last week, when the sun goes down.
And that's where we end this.
See y'all in the Jack on
Thanksgiving.
Saturday.
Yeah,
If
see
you're
you guys on
cold,
Happy
Saturday.
Thanksgiving, man.
Happy
Yes.
Thanksgiving to y'all.
Have
Eat
a
good
great
with the fam.
Thanksgiving.
Have a great dinner. Get the warm mashed potatoes in your stomach, and you'll be ready in prime for Saturday under the lights in the Jack to go to
Yeah.
Jerry's World. Because I already know that I might have potentially a hold on a hotel here
Oh,
in Dallas.
nice.
Oh Lord, Jake's gonna be down there.
It's like PTSD a little bit. I have to get over it. That's first play of the game. I tore my pec in Jerry's
no.
World.
Oh yeah.
That was
Terrible.
bad. I could not tell you what happened the rest of the game after that.
I'll tell you this: if you were in, we probably would have won.
It wasn't
Yeah,
pretty,
I
I'll
know.
tell you that. I witnessed it.
Yeah,
I
we
was
lost.
there.
So
Losing two starters, back to
would've
back.
won with Jake in the game there.
Yeah, that's all right.
Well, anyways.
Now
like
we got another
said,
opportunity this year.
Yeah. Have a
Free
good
VK
Have a good Thanksgiving. Buy your tickets. Do your Black Friday shopping at the CycloneFanaticShop.com. And yeah, we'll be back. Full crew's back next Sunday to hopefully talk about a big win, but who knows? You never know. You never know what's gonna happen.
Hopefully, going through the itinerary of our trip down in Dallas.
Yeah. So, as always, thanks for listening, guys. Shout out to Wyffels Hybrids, our presenting sponsor, and we'll be back next week.